The Iowa Hawkeyes coming off consecutive seasons of 8 or more wins for the first time since 2009-2010 as they head into this 2017 season looking to compete in the Big Ten West. Dave Revson, Gerry, DiNardo, Howard, Griffith back indoors here in Iowa City. A little rain earlier today. Moving
Beautiful
us in,
day now,
it has turned out to be
turned
a
out
lovely
very nice.
day. I can't wait to.
We should finish the show outside.
We really should. It's like having class outside.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Moving on.
There's some wires and some cables. All right, let's break into this offense first as we break down the Hawkeyes personnel. You have to start at quarterback. There's a quarterback battle here between Tyler Wiegers and Nathan Stanley. What did you guys see today?
Well, I could see how it's a battle. I mean, I couldn't separate either one of them in one day of practice. I don't think anyone would be able to do that. It's as advertised, right? They're built at the line of scrimmage. They've got terrific depth at running back, and the pass game is in the balance. It's going to be unfolding as the season starts.
Yeah, I think when you talk about the quarterback, it ultimately is going to come down to consistency. Today they had some drops by the receiver, so it was a little hard to tell, but I tell you this, the ball comes out of there really quickly with both of these quarterbacks. But I think when you talk about this team, it's got to be about the guys up front, the offensive line. 7 guys back this year with 100 starts, so some veteran guys up front, which is important. And you look in the backfield, and you have Akron Watley there. I mean, this guy just makes guys miss. He's going to be able to do a lot, whether he's flanked out as a wide receiver or running in the backfield. He's the total package that can do it all.
Yeah, I'd say this about the quarterbacks. So we said this as soon as we started watching practice. Physically, they're both really good-looking quarterbacks. I mean, they've got some length. The offensive line will be in the conversation of one of the best in the conference, one of the best in the country. There's no doubt about it. They're really, really deep and really good.
Yeah, the question has been, and this is a question that's when you talk about Iowa football, going back to really Marvin McNutt, being able to have some guys on the perimeter that are going to be able to get open. When you have this style of offense where you want to run it, pound inside the tackles, you've got to have guys out on the perimeter. They've got to be able to make plays. You got to get open. So I don't know that was addressed today necessarily, but I know that's something that they're trying to get through because they're going to have a strong running game. And when you have that, to be able to have and throw over the top of some of these defenses to loosen them up, you got to be able to do it.
It was encouraging to see Matt Vandenberg back out there. He's going to be a really important piece, but a lot of young, unproven wide receivers. Kirk Ferentz singled a few of them out for me and said these are guys we think can help us. But again, you're counting on young players contributing or players who haven't necessarily stepped up earlier in their career. So that's going to be the question mark, no doubt, offensively, is the passing game. I think the question mark defensively is going to be pass defense. Howard, what did you see in the secondary?
You know, I really like Manny Rugamba. He's a guy that really played wide receiver his entire high school career, dabbed a little bit as a defensive back, but was pressed into action last year and is arguably the best defensive back that they have right now. Really aggressive at the line of scrimmage. The kid can run, plays the ball well. I like where their secondary is going. They have some talent back there, some guys that are going to be able to help them. Inexperienced when you look at the guys that they lost in King and Maven, but the talent level, I think, has grown as far as the numbers are concerned. That's going to be important.
Yeah, and I would say, I don't know if you would agree, they're further along at corner than they are at safety.
Yes.
And if you look at the team, if you look at the front 7 on defense, they're obviously solid and deep there. And if you wanted either the corners or the safeties ahead of one another early in the season, you'd want where they are now, with the corners probably a little further along than the safety. So I think that's a good thing. But again, defensively, this is as advertised, right? Really good front 7.
Yeah.
And as Kirk says, the closer to the ball we get, the better we are. And so they're going to have to rebuild their secondary. I mean, this is the no surprise stop. You know, I mean, it's really as it's been advertised, except I think, like you say, they look really good physically, and you know you can't tell that until you get on campus.
You know, the body types, when you look at the defensive line, I thought really jumped out. I mean, they're long, they have length, they're going to be able to get to the passer. They have to be able to do that because traditionally they don't blitz a lot here as far as the linebacker. That's a veteran group there that you know are going to make a lot of tackles, but it's going to be important for those defensive linemen to be able to get to the quarterback when they have those one-on-one situations.
Yeah, really good in that front 7. The linebacker crew, a ton of experience. 3 guys who combined for 284 tackles.
A lot of tackles.
Last year, you have Josie Jewell, very fortunate to have him come back. He thought about the NFL, but second in the Big Ten tackles each of the last 2 years. A lot of leadership, a lot of talent up front, and so now the question becomes, can you hold up on the back end can you, as that group gains its experience?